Hey, it's your boy Picante Nino coming at you with another video. It's been a while, and during that time, I have been making music. So this video is supposed to announce the new era of Picante. We are now a music producer, you guys. Alright, roll the credits. Alright, so now you guys are like, dang, Patante is a music producer? Yeah, I have been messing around with FL Studio for like the past month, just like learning it and seeing like what I could actually do within a short amount of time. And just to give you guys like a sneak peek, let's just listen to it, dude. Let's just jump into it, you know?
No systematic flag, delay diagnostic lag, operations breakdown, questioning who am I, testing the code inside me, reveals nothing but the lack of my own identity. No, 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 no.
You guys get the point. If you guys want to listen to the full music, like the whole song, I have another channel that's linked in the description below. It's called Picante P because I am the Picante producer. Okay, so yeah, that is basically it. So I'm gonna teach you guys or show you guys the way how I went about this and how I made this. Basically, the inspiration comes from a couple of artists, but the main artist that I could attribute to everything is probably Jamie Page. So I already preemptively looked up Jamie Page, but like there's a couple of things that like kind of stuck out to me from Jamie Page, which was Weather Girl, Eleanor Forte. I fell in love with this voice bank. Those of you guys who don't know what a Vocaloid is basically a computer program that like sings for you. So yeah, Jamie Page is like one of the top English, Vocaloid artists that I know of currently. And the one song that kind of like lit the fire underneath my butt was this song right here, I Wish That I Could Fly. And this song was just like, it was the epitome of just simplicity and yet how beautiful it was because of how simple it was and how catchy it was. And like the music video that Jamie Page put on was so relatable that I was like, dude, I know how to make music and I kind of want to be part of this. I've been listening to Vocaloid since the early, mid 2000s when Rolling Girl, Wow Waka, Melt, Supercell, all those big hitters came out. And then my biggest influence was Shina Mota, or Power Power P, the person who made Girl A, which everyone knows from TikTok, right? So yeah, I was like, dude, once I listened to Jamie Page and I heard this, and I was like, wait, I've been listening to Jamie Page forever. Now you think about it, because if we go to here, Moa Shop, Jamie Page, it's like it's an old school song, dude. Love Taste. Jamie Page made the lyrics to Love Taste, and I'm just like, dude, what the heck? Jamie Page has been grinding for a while, so I was like, I should just start doing it. And I started learning about Vocaloid. I did Synth V. I started doing Teto because I found out Teto has an English version, and then we just ended up here with this song. So yeah, like we just started grinding, bro. Since we quit Black Desert Online, we used that time playing playing video games to grind out in FL Studio. So yeah, all that gushing aside, let me show you how we started off with making this song. Okay, so yeah, we gotta find a sound, you guys. That's part one of making any type of music. Keep in mind that finding a sound kind of like takes a bit, but the question is that what sound are you gonna start with? And what kind of vibe are you trying to go with? I didn't know anything, to be honest. I learned this lesson from a lot of other hobbies that I have, is that limiting yourself is actually the best thing to creativity. Going off of that notion, it spawns a lot of working from what you got. And the reason why I learned this lesson is by playing Magic the Gathering. The best format, or the format that everyone plays, is Commander. It's the most limiting format in the entire game, yet it has the most creativity with the amount of builds that you could do with it. So, whenever I decided to make this song, I was like, I'm going to pick a sound and I can't go back. Even if I don't like it in the end, I'm still going to stick with it. And so I decided to do this one song called it's from Parappa the Rappa. I'm not going to play the song, right? But it's called Love Kick. Parappa the Rappa. Okay? Or Romantic Love. There we go. Romantic Love. This is where I got the chords from. And those of you guys who are very astute that listen to this song, you're gonna know the chords that just go like this. Okay, I stole the chord. Oh, I didn't steal the chords, but I took the chords from that song. And so basically, we stole the chords from Romantic Love from Parappa the Rappa, and we just made them long. We just made them long, just take up a whole 4 notes, And just to keep in mind, those of you guys who are FL Studio like savvy, these are all stock plugins from Flex. The only plugin what's that called? That are kind of like you have to buy is probably like Synthesizer V, because Tedo, and then Splice Instrument, and I just took the piano from Splice Instrument. I think this is what's that called? The soft piano, so it's the free one. That's the one that I used to make basically the whole skeleton of this song. So everything is stock plugins. So those of you guys who are saying, hey man, I can't make music because I don't have the right sounds, dude, Flex has a lot of sounds, dude, and they sound good. They sound good. So yeah, I'm gonna show you guys the videos that I've been making. So I'm gonna play a couple of phone videos so you guys know the process of how I went from this to the full song, okay? Okay, so I don't know what this song's gonna be called, dude, but like look at that cool robot. I'm just messing around in FL Studio, so like this is what I got. This is proof of concept, so I remember in the future. This is Parappa the Rappa. I forgot what it is, but it's like. And those are all the 2 chords I know. So I'm thinking about just going. Can't take it anymore. And the things on the floor. And then boom. Boom. So it's like. But you could lower it down an octave and it's just like. It's beautiful. So it's like. Can't take it anymore. And I come here for show. Boom, ba da 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 da. I don't wanna be you anymore. Not without you. Not without her. And na 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 na. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. And then once I get the chords done, I know how to play the thing. I don't know how to play piano, but it sounds good. It's like it's like and then it's like some jazz.
Mm.
You know, like you get it. You get it. So yeah, this video was recorded during the time when I was making the song. So yeah, I was telling you Parappa the Rappa. I got those 4 chords and I was on my little keyboard right here, beep 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 bop boop boop, you know, doing my little gabagoo. And yeah, it was just for me to document of like where my headspace was at when I was making this song. So whenever I like go out, go do like grocery shopping or go to work, come back, and I could listen to this video or hear this video and be like, yeah, that's where I was whenever I was making the song. So yeah, that's why these videos are a little bit more like in the moment, because that was me in the moment making the song. So it shows you like, okay, the practicality of how to make this. Now I'm showing you like in the moment when I was actually physically there making it and just getting mind blown on like the options I had. So yeah. So during that moment, I was just in loop hell, okay? We call it loop hell because all we were doing, we were just listening to this over and over again. That's all we were doing, and we're just like, okay, how can we get out of this loop, right? And then I saw this one YouTube video on like how to like produce music, and it's called the 2-loop rule. The 2-loop rule. And with the 2-loop rule is like, okay, if you have 2 things that repeat back to back, right? You just want to basically have it do it twice, right? So you do it twice, and then you change it. And then you do another thing twice, and then you change it. So that's what I was following. So like that's why the song is like 2 actual like loops, and then it goes into the drums and the accents, and then both of that for 2, and then it goes into big bass, and then it does the 2 things right here, and then it goes into all of this gabagoo. This is where I broke the 2-loop rule because I was just kind of vibing, you know. But if you actually see it, the 2-loop rule is right here, and then it repeats right here, right here. So the 2-loop rule is like everywhere in this song. So if it wasn't for that YouTube video, the structure of this would be like way off. So that's why I was just like, dude, I need to get out of loop hell. And then I saw that video of the 2-loop rule, and it's just like, yeah, bro, once you get out, once you play that thing twice, you need to start changing stuff. And so I did. And this is where we ended up with. We ended up with this thing right here. We ended up with this. It's like,
No systematic flag, delay diagnostic lag, operations breakdown, questioning who am I? No system.
well, actually, like, let's get rid of the synthesizer.
No system.
I hate this. Okay, hold on.
No system.
Okay. So this is the loop that we're just like, all right, you know? Do 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 do. And I was like on my keyboard like, yeah, dude, yeah. You know? I'm over here just like, you know, I'm just like, dude, I'm listening to the piano, right? And the reason why I found this, right? I'm on Flex, right? I'm on Flex, and I'm just going through these sounds, right? And you see how I have a couple of them marked right here as like favorites, dude? This is what I used. I used this one, dude. I didn't change any of the settings, you know? So I'm just like, I lowered this down by an octave. I was like, you see, bro? You see, the vision was there, dude. And I'm just like listening to this. I'm just like, dude, the 2-loop rule, right? And I'm just like, dude, I kind of like this. So I just started just going through these sounds like, okay, nah, that doesn't fit the vibe, you know? Like, I'm here like, and then I finally got to this where I'm just like, okay. And this is all I was doing, right? And then I got here. I'm just overdoing it. So yeah, that's basically how I got to like that main motif. Like every 2 loop roll. That is what really put this song together, dude. So now we got cooking. So I'm gonna play the second video. Okay, I'm gonna play you the second video that I was recording. So now you know my mindset of how I even came to the. Okay, cool. All right, let's play the video. Okay, new beat. It goes. Can't take this anymore. And da 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 da. Ba 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 da da da. Ba da 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 da. Ba da da. Ba da da. Da da da. Na 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 na. Gas, right? I feel like that's gas, dude. It's like mysterious, bro. It's so mysterious, you know? And then like right here, like you're expecting like just a sad song, right? And then like when it gets to this part, bro, it starts moving. Like the shit starts moving. You want to shake your shit, right? And then I was like, okay, we're gonna stop shaking our shit and we're gonna get serious again right here, right? But I think I'm just gonna put like techno like over voice like. You know, like just like the voices inside of it. So yeah, so hopefully that gives you more perspective of how I came up with that. So the only 2 things that weren't explained in the video is how I got the bass line and how I got the drums, right? The drums, you're gonna laugh at me, dude. I suck at drums. I can't make drums for the life of me, so all I did was I just got this this thing right here. I clicked it. I clicked this this plugin, and this plugin had a sample drum set, and it just kind of just played. It kind of just played, and so I just started just putting in the sample like loop that it just had just to demo the drums. And I'm just like, all right, we're just gonna keep it in as a placeholder, and then we'll change up the drums. But it actually kind of just went good with the song for the bass. After I got to this part right here, we could mute this section. So after I got to like this part, right, like you're just kind of like grooving with it, you know? You're just like, But and then when it got to like this part right here, when I got to this part, I felt like I needed something strong. And I kind of wanted like a bass. I kind of just like got your speakers and just like blasted them, you know, like a very present bass. But I didn't want to make it too overly complicated. So like we just kind of just went simple with it, dude. We just kind of went simple with the fat bass. Let's mute that. We kind of just went with a very present bass, you know? We called it big bass, okay? Because we're kind of grooving, you know? And basically, all I did in Flex, I just went here. I was like, dude, I need a very, very present bass. So I just went bass. You know, I went to right here. I went to all. And then I'm just like, okay, what kind of bass do we want? So I just got on my little gabagoo right here. And I just went. You know? So now we're at the point where we could start getting all of our ideas from our previous videos, from our phone videos, and start pineapple penning them together, right? We start pushing them together and we start making some funky stuff. But you gotta have fun with it too, or else you burn out. So here's a Beyblade clip. Okay, so now we're putting everything together. And honestly, we need some lyrics. We've been humming the same la da 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 da, you know, like every single time, right? And so we decided to start just, you know, opening up SynthV and be like, all right, we're gonna start adding some lyrics to this. I don't know if you guys ever worked with SynthV before, but like, it's a little bit of a learning curve of how to like get stuff to sound correct. Right here we have Teto. We're picking the English language. We have our preset of how she should sound. We got this mellow one. And basically you just put in lyrics and then she sings basically on the syllables that you actually put the lyrics on, right? So right here I started the song with null systematic lag, you know? So she'll sing the thing where it's like no systematic lag, you know? And it would just keep on going from there. The thing is that like it didn't start off like that from the beginning. You don't have gold lyrics when you start making music. It's like all over the place. So when it's all over the place, you're gonna get stuff like this. And I want to show you the first iteration of my lyrics in this, and it's gonna sound horrible, but we're still gonna play it. You know, I'm a little bit embarrassed, but this is how the song sounded with the lyrics. This is the first iteration. You see the vision? You see the vision? And this song is just basically the same all throughout. I'm just like, dude, we got some lyrics down, dude. I was talking with my friends. I was like, should I have her high pitch? Should I have her low pitch? And everyone was like, high pitch, dog. Teto, high pitch sounds better. So I'm just like, so I really didn't like Teto high pitched. It sounded horrible in my opinion, but everyone else was telling me that I was sounding good. So this is where I made the executive decision to pitch her down. And from there, we just kind of kept on grooving with it. And honestly, from that one thing led to another thing where I was like, Yeah, and then I'm just gonna cut up the voice and put it there once I finish the lyrics. So I did, right? This one's called Teto Mixdown. This is just only her voice.
No systematic flag. Delay diagnostic lag. Operations breakdown. Questioning who am I? Testing the code inside me reveals nothing but the lack of my own identity.
So basically, I did that. I got her voice, I exported it, and I'm like, I want to cut up her voice and start sampling her own voice inside the own song, like how I said in that music video. So we did that. And I'm just like, I don't even know how to do that, but I saw this YouTube video where they're just like, yeah, man, you can just do that just by using Fruity Slicer. And so you just drag it in, dude. You drag it in. You drag it into Fruity Slicer and it does it for you. It's kind of cool, you know? So I went right here and I'm just like, oh wait, hold on. We're on this keyboard, right? We're playing, and we put it to one beat, and so this thing splits it into how many whatever beats you want, and you can just pick wherever you want to play. You can just pick wherever you want to play. Where do you want to play? So that's what I did. So that's what I was doing, dude, on my keyboard, just getting the themes. And then so I'm just like letting the piano play throughout this whole thing, and I'm just like pressing buttons, dude. And I'm pressing these like syllables to like get there. Let me just like mute everything, the slicery stuff, and then we could add in the accents. So we're gonna play right here, and I'm just like hitting random syllables, you know, like what goes good, you know. So, yeah, I cut myself off on that last recording, so I'm just going to tell you that I'm going to play another video so you see all of this coming together and how everything just starts clicking in the final moments of this project. Okay, guys, I've been cooking this for a bit, okay? Okay, I'm kind of excited to share it. And then we cut it. The tapes on the keyboard help me. So yeah, now you guys see the moment where I decided that, hey man, we could just throw everything into Slicer and just start getting these syllables and just making some cool rhythms with the voice, right? So like now we have an idea, we know where we're going, dude. So now the next step is to add the extra flares and extra details, bro. And then this is where everything comes together and we can finally put a pin in it. So let's move on to the next chapter. Okay, so this part of the whole entire project is honestly the hardest part. The hardest part of this project, honestly, was the mixing, bro. The mixing was such a pain in the butt. Because once you start putting in like all these different sounds together, you need to make sure that they sound uniform. And when they start sounding uniform, that means you have a lot of instruments playing. Like this section right here, there is one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, like things just happening at the same time. So you got to make sure that they all just don't overlap, or whatever you're trying to convey in this section, all of them sound uniform. So like if I want my voice to stand out, obviously it's going to be a little bit louder than this. So whenever I play this section right here, where it goes into the voice, you gotta make sure that all the instruments sound equal, right? Not one of them is like overly kicking one out. As you can hear right here, the choir and the orchestra are kind of just like playing very nicely with another. Meanwhile, the plucks on the instruments and the bass are kind of taking the front line a little bit more, but it's not that obvious. And then whenever we start adding the voice, right? So I'm going to start initiating the voice right here. So you notice that the voice isn't that prominent and it's a little bit more louder than all the other elements in here. So right here, whenever you start mixing, you got to make sure that everything is kind of, it makes sense, that nothing really pops out, that there's no voice that is louder than the previous. So the thing that I like to do when I'm mixing is just close my eyes, sit back in the chair and hit the play button, and just be lost and just be present. And if I hear anything that I'm just like, dude, that kind of like takes me out of like my meditation while listening to the song, then yeah, I'm obviously gonna try to address it, right? So I was like, oh, the violins are too loud. So yeah, we gotta go in here. You gotta make sure that you link one of these to these tracks right here, and you start just working it. The hardest thing that I did when it came to mixing, and this is where it's gonna sound a little bit weird, but these are all the versions of the songs that I have, or of the song that I have. So like, the first one is P2 Share, right? Because you notice how there's like no reverb or anything special effects happening to the voice, right? There's nothing special happening to the voice. And then once I start getting a little bit more down, I started adding reverb to the song. So we could go right here where I started labeling it "Who Am I?"
No systematic flag, delay diagnostic lag.
She sounds like she's speaking into a can, right? This reverb is too much for the voice, right?
Operations breakdown, questioning who am I, testing the.
So I'm just like, okay. So now I listen to the rest of the song, right? You can barely tell right here. But the number one thing when it comes to mixing, honestly, is whenever you are making something while you're mixing it, you gotta make sure that you gotta listen to your media in different ways other than what you are on the music making software. So right now I'm listening to with my fancy headphones, right, connected to the computer. And yeah, it sounds really good, right? And it sounds normal in my ears. But then when I play it on my phone, it sounds like dog water, right? Or if I get my IEMs on my DAC and I listen to it, it's completely different, right? So you got to make sure that you're listening to the song in different platforms. So like for me, I had the what is it, the 4 rule, whereas like I listen to it on computer, I listen to it on my phone, I listen to it on my earbuds, I listen to it on my DAC, and then I listen to it in my car. So it's 5 things I listen to it on. And if it all sounds uniform between all of those devices, like what normal people would do, right? Like, hey, I'm driving my car, I'm gonna bump this in my car. Does it sound good in your car? Okay, yes it does. Does it sound good on your computer? Okay, it does. Your IEMs, cool, right? Your phone speaker, okay. And you're like, why would anyone want to play a song on a phone? It's people do it, man. Like people watch YouTube videos, and if it doesn't sound good on your phone, like why would people listen to something that doesn't sound good? So you would just like lose a good portion of your audience depending on where they're listening to when you could just keep that in mind while you're making the song, right? So this is the trap that I fell into when I was making this. Was like, yes, I got to make it sound uniform. So yeah, this was the tin can experiment. So whenever I listened to this on my phone, she sounded like if she was speaking into a can. I listened into my car, sounded good. I listened to my headphones, it sounded good. Everywhere else, it sounded good except for the phone. And then I kind of just took a step back, and I'm just like, okay, we need to reduce the reverb. It's too much. It's too much. So we just started doing the reverb.
No system.
Still too canny, and then we go to more, change it more.
No system.
Okay. Less reverb,
Diagnostic lag.
but it's still a little bit more. Like when I listen to it on my phone, you can still feel the canniness to it. And then right here,
No system.
okay, less. And then when we get to the golden, oh my god, I closed it down. Give me a second to open it back up. When we get to the golden edition,
No system.
it sounds good.
Delay diagnostic lag. Operations breakdown.
And then when we go back to the other song, so yeah, mastering basically like makes you go insane because you're listening to like the same 3-beat loop over and over and over again. So yeah, it kind of makes you go insane. I was streaming this to one of my friends while working through it, and they're just like, dude, I have a headache just listening to the same 3 beats over and over again as you like tick things back and forth between previous and latest. And it's something that psychopaths will do, just like small little increments that no one else would notice. So yeah, that's basically my whole thing with mastering. Now we could go into the small little details. And what I mean by the small little details is that I only have one little like gimmick that I have in this song, and it's this portion right here.
It could be attributed in a lot of ways, but the way I took it was, if you can't find worth or the value of yourself or value in something intrinsically, then you just start to feel as you're malfunctioning.
No system.
So yeah, that's the gimmick that I have. The gimmick right there is basically I wanted to get the video call from my friend that he gave me with his honest input of the song and what he thought about it when I was basically almost done with it. And I just exported the video.
Attributed in a lot of ways, but
So yeah, I'm just gonna play the clip. I'm not gonna show our messages, but I'm just gonna play the clip. This is the OG when me and him were texting back and forth, and he just sent me a voice message, and he's all like,
the way I took it was, if you can't find the worth or the value of yourself or value in something intrinsically, then you just start to feel as you're malfunctioning, having issues with operations and stuff. But as far as the orchestra and all that, sorry, I'm taking a piss.
So I thought that was pretty funny that my friend, he was like taking a piss while sending me this like deep message. So I wanted to include that in the ending, right? So basically this little port right here is his voice message, right? So if I mute everything, we could just listen to it.
It could be attributed in a lot of ways, but the way I took it was, if you can't find worth or the value of yourself or value in something intrinsically, then you just start to feel as you're malfunctioning.
So that little glitch part right here towards the end, and honestly, there was like no effects thrown on this other than like a slight little distortion to make it sound like it was like coming through a voice call. So like, I decided to throw a little bit of a distortion on it. So basically, that's all I did with that sound clip. The way how I got the little glitch effect is I just shortened his syllable. So if I just get this and I put it in here, right? Like this is the whole thing. And so like if I just want the malfunctioning part, which is like right here. Ooh.
You just start to feel as you're
Here, let me put that.
As you're malfunctioning, heavy.
So like right here, I just saw the malfunctioning part. I zoomed in on it more and more. And I basically like shortened it. So right here. And I shortened it to the part that I wanted.
As you're malfunctioning.
Did that.
Functioning. Heavy.
And I cut it a little bit more.
Heavy. Functioning.
And then now that I have the clip that I want, I just shortened it. And then I just put it on repeat. So right here, paste. So I'll do that again. And then I just basically did this.
Function.
And that's all basically I did right there. So I just got the syllable I wanted, and then I just put it all together, cut it.
Function.
And that's how I basically made that little glitch part at the end, you know? And basically that's it, dude. Like, congratulations, you guys. I don't know if I went into a lot of detail about like how I made this or anything like that. This is my first time making any of these videos. I just wanted to show you guys like the thought process. Those of you guys who are getting like into beat creation, this is basically my whole thought process. Yes, almost everything was stock. There's only like 2 things that weren't. So like if it's stopping you from like making your like something that you've been humming along and you kind of just want to turn it into like a real thing, it's possible, dog. So yeah, those of you guys who are baited to this, like I thank you guys. This is a long video, and check out the music on my channel, dude. Picante P. The link is down below, and yeah, man, have a great rest of your day.